Coqui-san! Welcome back for another round of Tabletop Gaming. Well, how y'all doing today? Y'all looking for some Magic the Gathering? I am gonna be doing some magic stuff here today. Poof, there you go. Poof. You may call me Tim. So I'm gonna update y'all on my Sithis commander deck, cause it's been a couple of weeks since I played my first two games, and I have not played a single commander game since. I have yet to play my third game, and all I've been doing is just tweaking this deck up. Which is very crazy, but my whole deck building brain goes haywire. And then I'm gonna jump into Silvos, because Silvos needs a lot of heavy duty stuff. But just to let you all know, as you check out, as I show you my deck and work on the decks for all of you, don't hesitate to comment down below. Make sure to comment down below if you got any ideas of a good card that's cheap. Don't give me no $100 card. Just point my direction for the what I'm trying to accomplish for these commander decks here. Yeah, basically. Don't point me to no $700 deck card. A bunch of cards that'll cost $700. I'm not looking to make an epic deck or anything. I'm just a filthy casual. I'm so filthy. Look at all this dirt. Look, I'm brushing off all this dirt off of me. Oh my gosh, I got so much dirt. I got this cool new little Ultra Pro thing. I really like this, especially down here at the bottom, which it's a very bad idea. Maybe I should have done it this way. I really like this. This is for commander decks, and I guess it could also fit. Hey, there we go. Yeah, see, it comes with a compartment. I put my tokens and my dice in here. So it's a nifty little thing here. Oh my god, everything's running around. All of my Pokemon tokens. Yeah, just to let you know, if you're wondering, this came from Pokemon, the trading card game, back in its first release. Those early decks, from the early days of Pokemon, I still have them. So, yeah, I still have my Pokemon decks, my Pokemon cards. So, here we go. So here is this. There we go. Everything's falling down. So, yeah, this is... Yeah. No, sorry, I just had a brain fart. It went and it was like, huh? And then and it puffed out of the ears. That would be called an ear fart. So, yeah, I've been going through a lot of refinement with the Sithis deck here. It's pretty crazy, for the most part. Let's see here, because every time I think I have everything figured out, it's like, oh no, I want this, I want that. Saying that's where I'm at. I think my deck really is in a good place at this point, because I'm like, oh, I want to add this and I want to add that, and saying, but I'm not removing like the core mechanisms. It's like everything seems to fit. So what I was hoping that could happen. I'm hoping for. But I wish next week would hurry up. This weekend would hurry up. I don't know why I said next week. I'm hoping this weekend would hurry up. The reason why I say that is because I want to get these cards for my deck. I'm looking for Calyx, Guided by Fate, Nyx Fleece Ram, and I'm still, let's see here, Weaver of Harmony and Fang of Shigeki. Most of them are, two of them are in the new Kamigawa set, so I shouldn't have any problem. The others, on the other hand, oh, that's interesting. Hold on a second. there we go. That's a little cleaner. Okay. That looked a little weird on the screen there. The overlap. Sorry about that. So let's see here. Yeah, basically I'm looking for more enchantment creatures because this deck really runs enchantment creatures like no other. One of the things that I did was that I reduced the number of lands. Last time I had oh my gosh, I completely forgot about this one. I thought I changed this. I'm sorry about that. We covered that yesterday. Here we go. I thought I had this moved up. Oh, this show's really going off to a bad start. What's next? What's next? The internet crashing again? Yeah, probably will. Oh man. So basically I added what the funny thing is that what happened with the decks with the lands was that when I was watching the how to build a video, they said you gotta have 37 lands. You gotta have 37 lands. You gotta have 37 to 40 lands. But they don't explain to you what lands you could put in there. You know, this is like a beginner's guide to Magic decks, and they're like, oh, you gotta put 37 lands. And my brain is thinking, okay, I need 37 basic lands. I didn't think about putting in non-basic lands. That was okay, you know, that was okay to put in non-basic lands, and that you could run like around 10 to 12 basic lands. I was thinking, oh, I gotta have 37 basic lands, and then I add in all these non-basic lands. But then, how do I fit everything in? You know, I wish people would, you know, make their instructions clearer. You know, their explanations clearer. Because they just left it at that. Like, you need 37 lands. And then they just leave it at that. And it's like, okay, so basic lands. Okay, 37 basic lands. I know it's not their intention. It was unintentional, but yeah, it's annoying. It's annoying because I never think about it. And so I went out on my way and got these lands here. So what I added, so I reduced this down to 12, and this is 14 non-basic lands. And what I did is I took in, and I was lucky, and I lucked out too because I was able to get, you know, because I bought the Jumpstart packs and I got some really good land cards out of it. Thriving Heath and Thriving Grove, great for duels. You know what I'm saying? So I got the Command Tower for Sithis, which lets me tap for whatever my commander's colors is. I decided to go with Survivor's Encampment, where I can tap a creature and the land to get a mana of any color that I want. Since I have creatures that I'm not going to attack with, it makes perfect sense to tap. Namely Sithis, because Sithis's ability is triggered. So even if she taps, it's still on, and I can still operate it. Uncharted Haven, which is what does it give me? Oh yeah, it just lets me choose a color. So if I'm, which is good because let's say I only have green lands and I need plains, I could drop that and just say plains, and I got plains lands. Overgrown farmland. Whenever it comes into field tap, unless I control 2 or more other lands, that's not going to be a problem because I know I'm going to have lands available. Of course, Thriving Heath and Thriving Grove, they both do the same thing. They enter the battlefield tapped, and I just choose a second color other than white or green because each of them can generate green and white respectively. Thriving Heath can generate white, so if I pick green, I can choose white or green. And Thriving Grove has green, so I could choose white, and I could do white or green. Tranquil Expanse, very basic, comes into play tap and just gives me white or green. Path of Ancestry, it comes into play tap, and I can add 1 mana of any color in my commander's identity, so I could pick white or green when I tap it. And when that mana is spent to cast a creature spell that shares a creature type with my commander, which in this case would be a nymph. So if I play a nymph, I get to scry 1, which means I can look at the top card of my library, and I can choose to put that card on the bottom of the library or keep it at the top. So that's it's not too bad. Unfortunately, I'm not playing a nymph deck, so and just the fact that I can be able to tap for any color is good enough. Blossoming Sands, it comes into play tapped, and when it enters the battlefield, I gain 1 life, and I can tap for white or green. Temple Garden is a shock land, the famous shock land that I've heard about and learned the hard way. So I pay 2 life to bring it in and not let it enter tap. Okay, let me read it like this. As Temple Garden enters the battlefield, you may pay 2 life, and if you don't, Temple Garden enters the battlefield tap. So I just pay 2 life. It's untapped and it gives me white or green. Terramorphic Expanse. I've been on and off with this card, but I decided to just throw it in there anyway. So I tap it and sacrifice the Expanse, and I search my library for a basic land card and put into play tapped. So it's a fetch land. So it's like, okay, you know what? Screw it. I'll just throw it in there. I have Bountiful Promenade enters the battlefield tapped unless I have 2 or more opponents. So being that this is a commander deck, I'm always going to have 2 or more opponents. So it's always going to come in untapped and gives me white and green. Brushland gives me generic mana if I tap. And, colorless mana, generic mana. Yeah. Or I can tap for white or green, and it'll deal 1 damage to me, which really is inconsequential because I have life gaining. My deck is a life gainer deck, so I'm always going to gain life no matter what. Especially if I could get the Nyx Fleece ran. And then finally, it's Vezva. You may have Vezva enter the battlefield tapped as a copy of any land on the battlefield, which is very interesting because it says you may have it entered in the battlefield tap as a copy of any land on the battlefield. So I could still just drop it as a regular Vezva, which is interesting. I'm not sure what that entails, but there's a reason behind that. But if I bring it in tapped, I could copy anything that's on the field. So I can have it copy one of my own cards, or I can have it tap channel, copy other players' lands if they help out. But keep in mind though that being that as commander, you are restricted to only your cards that are white and green. So trying to to whatever your commander's colors are. So if you're white and green in this case here, it'll be pointless to copy a land. For me to copy a land that has red and black, because I don't have red and black creatures to cast. Unless I just want to troll. Unless I want to troll my opponents. So, Spirits has been a very, very, very tough call because I reduced them down from how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. From 14 to 12. Then I brought it down to 10. Then I brought it back up to 12. I'm like all over the place. And that's because I'm trying to fit so much stuff into this deck, because the cards that I had been that not only that I have been playing with, but I have also discovered, being that I'm 13 years removed from having last played Magic. I am completely ignorant of everything Magic at this point. I've been finding cards that really fit with this what I'm trying to do with this deck. So to put it clearly, I'm trying to take advantage of the enchantment effects, so to speak. No, it's not really the enchantment effect. Well, yeah, I'm trying to take advantage of enchantment effects to deliver life gaining capabilities while giving my creatures +1/+1 counters. That's the whole crux of the whole thing. So that way they'll have so much +1/+1 counters I can swing hard on my opponents. For example, I would get help from Generous Visitor, which says whenever I cast an enchantment spell, I put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. So that's why I'm trying to get as many enchantments or enchantment creatures as possible another new thing that I discovered, enchantment creature. So, and given that this is a spirit type, so that's why I'm using the spirit types. Part of the reason why the spirit types are being used because spirit types are in green and white. So when I originally retooled this to be a worm and angel deck, my brain was like, okay, you know what? I could be stuck with having white mana and green creatures. I know the same principle will happen here, but the point I'm trying to make is that because they're spirit types, they all share the spirit types across 2 colors. I won't have too much in the way of mana issues, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, not mana issues, but like in terms of synergy issues, because I'll always have a spirit in one side, in one color or the other to work with, and be able to, pull off combos and synergies and such. So, if that makes sense. So, for a quick drop, I got Child of Thorns, which which means I can sacrifice it and I can give a +1/+1 to a target creature at the end of the turn. So I chose to pick the sacrifice cards because I do have a few cards that trigger when cards are sent to the graveyard. I think I have a few. Yeah. Root Runner, which does the same thing, and I could put the target land on top of its owner's library. It also has Soul Shift. For those of you who might not know, Soul Shift, what Soul Shift does is, I can retrieve a spirit creature whose mana cost is equal to the number on the Soul Shift. So Soul Shift 3 means that any spirit with 1, 2, or 3 mana, I can scoop it up from the graveyard and put it into my hand. So I made sure I had some soul shifting creatures like Burgrafter. So what happens is that I sacrifice Burgrafter, it goes into the graveyard, and I can fish out any spirit that's sitting in the graveyard that's got 3 mana or 1, 2, or 3 mana, and so on. This one I actually got from a pack. I drew this out of the Kamigawa pack, Neon Dynasty pack. Kami of Transience. What it does is, and it's only 2 mana for what it does. It's pretty freaking awesome. It's trample. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Kami of Transience. At the beginning of each step, if an enchantment was put into your graveyard from the battlefield this turn, you may return Kami of Transience from your graveyard to your hand. So again, another graveyard retrieval, recovery, which is pretty good. But this is one of the things that I was talking about regarding enchantments and combining with the combination of enchantments with +1/+1 counters. Here we go. Let me make some space here. So this is what I was looking. This is what I'm looking for the deck to do. So, where is? Oh, here it is. Here's Generous Visitor. Let's pull this up. So here's Generous Visitor, and here's Kami of Transience. So as you can see the synergy when I cast an enchantment spell or an enchantment creature. Like, let's say I cast her, Sithis, who's an enchantment creature. I get to put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, and I could put +1/+1 on top of Kami of Transience. So I could give Kami of Transience a +2/+2, just for having played an enchantment or an enchantment creature because it's enchantment. And so that makes so that'll turn Kami Transience into a 4/4 creature. So that's the idea of what I'm trying to do with the enchantments and the +1/+1 counters, where playing enchantment or activating enchantment would allow me to put +1/+1 counters. Now that's the enchantment side. With the spirits, because they have soul shift, I'm looking to let them go into the graveyard. I have cards that trigger when they go into the graveyard and put +1/+1 tokens on creatures. In addition, if I have a soul shifter, I can retrieve one of my spirit creatures from the graveyard back to my hand. So it's got so this is a very high synergetic deck, which is what I was looking to do. Oh my gosh, could you stay still? Oh man. Oh my gosh. My little setup just doesn't want to stay in place. uh, so basically, that's the whole objective of the Sithis deck is to have the enchantments and the spirits manipulate +1/+1 tokens and come out swinging and hitting my opponents very very hard at any given time, any given moment. So, then I got Blossom Prancer. I'm not sure if I've mentioned that before, but Blossom Prancer has reach and it'll let me basically search. I get to look at the top 5 cards in my library, and if I have an enchantment card, I can put that in my hand. The rest goes to the bottom of the library. And also, if I didn't put any card into my hand, I get to gain 4 life, which is again another big deal, another synergy thing, because I do have cards that could give me +1/+1 tokens if I gain life. And again, this is a spirit type that's gaining life, so it helps out just as much. Then I got Kami of the Palace Fields. Straight. So with the white spirits, on the white side with the spirits, I made sure that all of them have flying. I wish I could fit in a couple of more flyers, but that I have, but I'm making do with what I got because they're still pretty straightforward and good. Kami of the Palace Fields, which has flying first strike and Soul Shift 5, so I can pretty much fish any of my spirit cards that are in there because I don't have any spirit cards that are above 5. Above 5 mana cost. Lantern Kami, a quick drop, 1 mana. Now this one I got that was new. That I got last week over the weekend was Remorseful Cleric. It's flying, and if I sacrifice it, I can exile a target player's graveyard. So I can actually destroy an entire graveyard. That'll be great if I'm up against black. If I'm up against black, I can just knock out their entire deck before they can execute whatever it is that they're trying to pull off. Speaking of execute, another new card I got is Hanged Executioner. It has flying. When it enters the battlefield, I get a white spirit creature token with flying. So I get 2 creatures for the price of 1. And I can exile a target creature. So if I pay 4 mana and exile my Hanged Executioner, I can exile a target creature. So it's another good removal. Another removal right there. Kabuto Moth. It's just a straightforward flyer, and I can tap it to give target creature +1/+2 until end of turn. And same with Angelic Page, but Angelic Page only it's when it's a target attacking or blocking creature. So it's not just at any time. It's very specific, and it's a +1/+1. So now for the enchantment creatures. This one I'm trying to increase the number of enchantment creatures, and this is the one that I'm having a tough time with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so this makes 10. So I got 10, but I don't. But some of them are just not very good, but they're just a placeholder until I can get these enchantment creatures. I'm looking for Calyx Guard by Fate, Guided by Fate, Fang of Shigeki, and the Nyx Fleece Ram and Weaver of Harmony. They're pretty good cards. I'll show you what they are in Scryfall in a second. But I wanted to up their numbers. How many do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I wanted to up their numbers just like I have the spirits up. Like I want to go 12-12, or if I want to stay 12-10, then I already know what I want to remove here. So like I'm gonna replace Bamboo Grove Archer, which is an enchantment creature, Snake Archer. It's a defender with reach. It's 3/3. Impressively enough, it's 2 mana. It's a 3/3 creature. It has defender and reach though, so it doesn't attack. But it has the channel ability, in which I discard Bamboo Grove Archer, pay 5 mana, and I get to destroy target creature with flying. Problem is that only specifically targets creatures with flying. And even though there are plenty of decks, commander decks with creature with flying, it's a very, very situational thing. So I was thinking of replacing that with Weaver of Harmony. Of course, we have Sithis, which is my commander. I want to also keep these enchantment sagas, befriending the moths. So after befriending the moths, well, basically all the enchantment sagas in Kamigawa, they transform. They have a transform capability. So here we go. So this is an enchantment saga where I put counters and I get effects each turn. And then what happens is after the third turn, it gets exiled and then comes back into play as this moth, which is an artifact creature with flying, and it's got 2/4, and it's not pretty bad. It's it's very straightforward. With the right pump, it could be a pretty devastating creature. The problem is that it takes a lot of turns because you don't start putting your token until your next draw step. After your draw step. So after you draw a card, you put the token on there. So you gotta wait a whole turn. Sometimes you gotta wait a whole round to come back to me to be able to pull that off. And it's the same thing with Boseiju Reaches Skyward. And the thing about these two enchantments is that this one lets me fetch for forests, and this one will let me give creatures +1/+1 with flying. So that's what makes this. That's why I don't want to get rid of them, because they're really good for this deck. They're really good. You know what I'm saying? And it transforms into this here, Boseiju. And as you can see here, it gets +1/+1 for each land I control, which means by the time I flip, I'm gonna have enough lands, and it's gonna be pretty big. And it's got reach on top of that. And what's good is that it's not even a defender as a plant. It's not a defender, so I could just go on the offensive right off the bat. That's why this is also a good card, because not only can it reach, but I can actually attack my opponents. Then let's see here, and who else? Yeah. So that's what's making it very tough, because I could drop those. I could drop the two enchantment sagas to fit in. These cards, Nyx Fleece Ram and Fang of Shigeki. But I'll have to see what happens. I mean, I have to see what happens, or and I'm trying to fit Calyx in. It's very hard to fit a lot of things in. Then this one I got Nykthos Paragon, an enchantment creature, human soldier. Whenever you gain life, you may put that many +1/+1 counters on each creature you control, and I do it once per turn. So I had to do a lot of rulings. I had to look up those rulings, and you know what? I could pull this up right now. So let me get this up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is the wrong screen. Sorry about that. Here's Scryfall. Nykthos. Nykthos. Alright. So the rulings for Nykthos is each creature with lifelink dealing combat damage causes a separate life-gaining event. So, for example, if two creatures you control with lifelink deal combat damage at the same time, and you haven't used the Nykthos' effect yet, you can actually trigger that ability twice. However, if a single creature you control with lifelink deals damage to multiple players, or playwalkers at the same time, the ability will only trigger once. But let me put it like this, because I'm playing because I have Windbrisk Raptor, which lets all my creatures, attacking creatures, have lifelink, as well as another card that I'll be showing soon enough. So if I were to attack with the aid of my +1/+1 counters, let's say I have 3 creatures that got 3 +1/+1 counters and became 4/4s, 3 of them, and I attack with Nykthos Paragon on there, I will gain, with their lifelink assistance from the Windbrisk Raptor. All 3 of them will give me +4/+4 counters. not +4/+4 counter, 4 +1/+1 counters each. That means that with 3 creatures, I will be dispensing 12 +1/+1 counters to my creatures. So the counters are going to multiply exponentially if Nykthos comes out there, and my creatures are going to get more and more harder to kill off when creatures block them. Which means that the only way to stop me would be a sweep. You'll have to Wrath of God my field completely. So that's Nykthos Paragon. The Paragon. It's pretty good. It's a pretty dang good card, quite honestly. I liked it. I was like determined to get it, and I got it. This next one is a card that I got from the pack. This is Sky Blessed Samurai. It's extraordinarily expensive. It's 1 white mana, 6 generic mana. However, its ability is this. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each enchantment you control and has flying. It's a 4/4 flyer. So if I have 6 enchantments, I only have to pay 1 mana and it gains flying. So I figured, okay, you know what? Perfect. And it's also an enchantment creature. So I like that because if I have my enchantment creatures out and enchantments, and there will be a lot, I could really cut that cost down and have a cheap flying 4/4 creature. Sunblade Samurai, I probably may have mentioned this before. It's an enchantment creature. I really love this artwork. It's really lovely. It's very anime. It was done by Hirami. Good job. It costs 5 mana, one white, 4 generic. Has vigilance. It's 4/4. But what's crucial about it is its channel ability. You only have to tap any 2 mana, and discard the Sunblade Samurai, and you get to search your library for a basic playing card and put it in your hand. And you also gain 2 life from it. That's what's so awesome about it. So again, I get to fetch a land and I gain 2 life, which will help synergize with other cards that I have. Then I have Jukai Naturalist, an enchantment creature with lifelink, and my enchantment spells that I cast cost 1 less to cast. So that actually helps out with the Sunblade Samurai. Because I don't have to pay 5 mana, I could pay for 4 mana if Jukai comes out, along with all my other creatures. And it's a cheap 2 cast, 2 mana, 1 green, 1 white. So it's very easy to drop. Sanctum Weaver, I was hooked up with this card from the owner of Retro Lotus. He presented it to me. I was like, ooh, I like that. Enchantment creature at X mana of any one color, where X is the number of enchantments you control. So if I have 5 enchantments, I can tap for 5 white or 5 green easily, and it also counts towards itself because it's an enchantment. So another excellent card for this deck, and will help me get to creatures faster. And Jukai Preserver, the last enchantment creature. When it enters the battlefield, I get to put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. And its channel effect, which is 3 and discarding the 3 mana and discarding the card, I get to put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures I control. So I could give 1 +1/+1 counter to 2 different creatures at once. So it's pretty good. So yeah, that whole life gaining thing that I've been talking about. It's because I have this particular card. This one particular card, for example, Johnny's Pride Mate. Whenever I gain life, it gets a +1/+1 counter. So yeah, it gets a +1/+1 counter every time I gain life, and it could get it from multiple sources. So yes, lifelink. It's coming from different sources. So similar to Nykthos Paragon, if 2 lifelinkers attack, I get 2 +1/+1 counters because they're 2 different sources. And with that comes Soul Warden and Soul Attendant. They both have the same ability. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you may gain 1 life. That's what these 2 do. So if I have one or both of them on the field, I get to add 2 +1/+1 tokens to the Pride Mate. So it's just the deck gets even more crazier. Then there's the Windbrisk Raptor, which again will boost up the Pride Mate if all my creatures are attacking. That's why with White Spirits, I had to make sure they had flying because it's an evasion ability, and I want to be able to get an easy hit on my opponent before anything else happens. And then just to back it up, I got Heron of Hope. It has flying, and what this does is if I would gain life, I would gain that much life plus 1 instead. So if I gain 4 life, I get 4 life plus 1, so that's 5 life, which is again. If I have multiple creatures with the Windbrisk Raptor, and for 2 mana, and it's a activation ability, 2 mana, I could give this card lifelink until the end of turn, so I can attack and get some life out of that. So next up, it was pretty obvious when I found this card. It's a very old card. It's called Yavimaya Enchantress. It's the only card that does this. Surprisingly enough, for some reason I can't. Skyfall is not pulling up creatures that does this. But Yavimaya Enchantress gets +1/+1 for each enchantment in play. So this also includes the enchantment creatures. So basically, every time I drop an enchantment, she gets more and more. She gets another boost. So now, with regards to some green utilities here on the creature side, I picked up Crozen Restorer and Ley Druid. What these two do, they both cost the same, but just one minute difference. They both untap target land. However, Crozen Restorer has Threshold, which is I gotta have 7 cards in my graveyard to activate. And if that happens, then I can untap up to 3 target lands. So they'll always give me mana post tap, so I can always tap and untap lands, and I can build up more mana with these two. Here's the Crozen Restorer right there. So I thought that's not a big deal. Throw them in there. I have the elf noids. Llanowar Elves. Everybody should be familiar with Llanowar Elves. You just tap green for mana, and I got Quirion Elves. When they enter when I play the card, I choose a color, so I just have to choose white, and I could tap for white or tap for green. No drawbacks to them whatsoever. An easy 2 mana cost there. So I can always get white and green when needed. I chose Wild Growth and Fertile Ground. They both do the same thing with just one little caveat. Wild Growth only taps for green, and Fertile Ground can tap for any color to the mana pool. So so I could always go white. I could always tap for white. In terms of search ramps, I have Kodama's Reach, which lets me pull out 2 basic lands from the deck. I get to put one in play and the other into my hand. And this one I picked. Oh, what is this weird thing in here? It's messing up the card. Sorry about that. That was a little gross. I don't want you to see that. I do not want you to see that. I picked Untamed Wilds rather than Rampant Growth. And the reason why is because not only can I pick any basic land, but it comes into play untapped. That's a big difference. Whereas Rampant Growth, you just get a green and you put into play tap. So I chose Untamed Wilds because I could get... along with Kodama's Reach, because I could get white and green. I could get any one of the colors, and I'm not restricted to just green, like Rampant Growth does. In terms of my sweeps, I could have easily thrown... I had thrown in... what was it called? Scryfalls? This game? I forgot the name of it. It destroyed all enchantments, along with Armageddon and Wrath of God. But... I decided to go with these two because I can target enchantments and artifacts as well, if that makes sense. So I picked Cataclysm, in which each player chooses from the permanents they control 1 artifact, 1 creature, 1 enchantment, 1 land, and then sacrifice the rest. So you have to choose one of those items and then sacrifice the rest. I chose to pick that card so that way I can at least keep my enchantments while, also reducing their enchantments. And I chose Farewell as my other sweep, in which I could choose one or more, which is exile an artifact, creature, enchantment, or graveyard. I could pick any one of these four, or I could pick all four if I wanted to. Really sweep out. But I like that because if I want to just specify, something like, say, well, you know what I'm saying. They're kind of like last resorts. I wouldn't say that I wouldn't play them for a deck like this, but I felt like Wrath of God and Armageddon are not potent enough, so to speak. I think those are potent. Those two are potent enough and are very devastating. So these two are for synergy purposes. Moonlit with spirits and as well as attacking. Moonlit Wake. Whenever a creature is put into a graveyard from play, you gain 1 life. There we go. So that's a good trigger. In fact, let me take a quick look here. Let me pull this up here. Where is? Here we go. Let me get a look at the ruling here. Moonlit. Wait, see, because they always say whenever a player, and I like to double check to make sure. Oh, there's no ruling on this. Yeah, see, because whenever they say whenever a player, I like to double check to make sure it means every player, not just. See, because it says whenever a creature dies, you gain 1 life. That's the official rule. Whenever a creature dies, you gain 1 life. But does that include my opponent's creatures? Because if so, yeah, then that. Because it's not saying whenever your creature, it's just saying whenever a creature. Even here with the errata, it's still whenever a creature. So I'm very curious about that. Righteous Cause, same thing. Whenever a creature attacks, I gain a life. So whenever my creatures attack, I get to gain a life. Which again works with the Pride Mate and other like-minded cards. These two I grabbed because it's pretty straightforward and simple. Johnny's Mantra and Holden of Cleansing Fire. They both trigger at the beginning of the upkeep. With the Mantra, I gain 1 life, and with Cleansing Fire, I gain 2 life for each shrine I control. So if I had other shrines, then I would gain more life from that, which is another thing that's I'm trying to decide too. If I want to go with the Goshen Tai cards in Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, there's 2 of them where they feed off, and then there's the Holden of the Green Holden deck, the Green Holden card. Let me pull this up here. Honden Holden. What is it called? Holden of Life's Web. Where at the beginning of my upkeep, I put a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token onto the battlefield for each shrine I control. So having that along with Holden of Cleansing Fire and the Goshen Tai cards, where at the just before my end step, I can tap for 1 mana, and I can gain life. With 1 card and gain a spirit creature with the other card. So they both pretty much do the same thing as the Holden cards, only you get what I'm saying. So I wanted to have all 4 shrines because they trigger that. Yeah, they trigger that. This is a new one that I threw in there. I got this unexpectedly, and this is actually a pretty good one. It's called Invoke Justice. It's 5 mana. There's just 4 whites and 1 generic. But what it is that I get to return a permanent card from my graveyard to the battlefield, directly to the battlefield. Then I distribute 4 +1/+1 counters among any number of creatures and or vehicles target player controls. Just to know for those of you, there's a new artifact type called Vehicles, where you can attach a creature to a vehicle. It's an equip card, but it's a vehicle. I actually got a couple of cards from Kamigawa that are actually Gundams. Yes, literal Gundams. Well, not literal Gundams, but metaphorical Gundams. I shouldn't have said literal. It's not literal. But this is actually good because that means I could distribute +1/+1 counters onto my creatures in the grand scheme of things. Then I also chose Nature's Spiral. It's in which I could return a target permanent from my graveyard to my hand. It's only an easy 2 mana. So I got so it's more recovery cards to complement the Soul Shift, the Kami of Transients. Now this one I was hooked up with from the one of the owners of Retro Lotus. This is Cathar's Crusade. It's an enchantment. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. This is a nasty little thing here. So every time, let me see here. Yeah. So yeah, imagine if I play Invoke Justice. I play Invoke Justice, put a creature back into the field. Put a creature back into the field with this. So not only am I going to put in the almost 4 +1/+1 counters from Invoke Justice, but Cathar's Crusade will also kick in and add in another +1/+1. And if I happen to have this card, then I get to add another set of +1/+1 counters, and it's called Hardened Scales. If one or more +1/+1 counters would be placed on a creature you control, that many +1 +1/+1 counters are placed on it instead. So what that means is if I put in one +1/+1 counter, then then I'm actually putting 2 +1/+1 counters. Or if I'm putting in 2 +1/+1 counters dictated by the card's effect, I get to add another 1 +1/+1 counter on it. So there's a big escalation swing going here if, once everything comes out. And then next up are these 2 enchantments that I definitely wanted in there that gives them keyword abilities. The first one is Primal Rage from green. It's a straight up enchantment, only 2 mana, and all creatures I control gain trample, which helps with the +1/+1 counters. And the next one is a new one. I think I got that from I got this I got this out of a pack. Did I get this out of a pack? No. I got this one from one of the pre-constructed commander decks. Right. I purchased a pre-constructed commander deck that had this card because I wanted this card, and it has a whole bunch of other cards that I liked. And in addition to some cards that I actually needed, which I threw a couple in here. So, and I'm gonna throw a couple into my. I think I threw a couple into the Silvos. Anyway, it's called True Conviction. It's 6 mana, 3 white, 3 generic. And creatures I control have double strike and lifelink. So if I can't get the Windbrisk Raptor out, I could get True Conviction out. So yeah, double strike and lifelink. All creatures I control can do that. So if I have both Primal Rage and True Conviction out, we're talking about +1/+1 counter creatures with lifelink, double strike, and trample. And I'll be gaining life. And if I have all the right cards out, yeah, the ramp that token ramp will that 1/1 counter ramp is gonna escalate hard. Next up for defense, I have Ethereal Haze, the card that I played that just decimated my opponent who was trying to swing in my very first commander game, and got everybody going. Oh! Prevent all damage that would be dealt by creatures this turn. For 1 mana, and then on the green side I picked Fog, in which creatures deal no combat damage this turn. It was a hard decision because I had Naturalize and Disenchant, but I dropped them because they could destroy an enchantment or artifact, but I felt that I had enough. I felt like I may have had enough defense to work with, that I didn't need those because I picked these 2 particular cards. This one is Crumble. For 1 green mana, I could destroy target artifact, which is also good because I could destroy an artifact creature. That artifact's controller gains an amount of life equal to its total casting cost. So whatever its casting cost is, the player will get mana back. But the fact that I can destroy the artifact or artifact creature, and artifact creatures are big now. Not big in terms of power, but big in terms of being slotted into decks. They improved on artifact creatures, and I've seen some artifact creatures that are insane. In fact, I have a couple that are really big, and I want to put them into my Silvos deck. So that's Crumble, and of course the other is the classic Swords to Plowshares. Remove target creature from the game, and that creature's control gains life equal to its power. I have the Ice Age version, so that's what I'm reading it off of. But they eroded that up just a little bit, just to clean up the wording. Now coming to the artifacts, I have Burnished Heart, which is an artifact creature elk. It's 3 mana to cost, and its ability is if I pay 3, sacrifice Burnished Heart, I search my library for up to 2 basic land cards and put them onto the battlefield tapped. So this is a great way to get both plains and forest right out there immediately. This one I picked when I was doing, looking for something to work with, on Scryfall and actually, yeah. No. I think I learned about this when I was watching a YouTube video on Commander decks, and I went into the comments section, and the person who commented pointed this card out, and I was like, oh wait, do I have that card? So it's called Planar Portal. It's 6 mana to cast, and I pay 6 generic mana and tap the card, and I can search my library for any card and put that into my hand. So if I really want those want that specific card to get my game going, there it is. That'll help me deal with the probability and statistics issue. The next 2 cards I got from that Commander pre-constructed deck I was talking about, the much important Arcane Signet and Commander's Sphere. Arcane Signet, add 1 mana of any color in my Commander's identity, and Commander's Sphere is add 1 mana of any color in my Commander's identity, and I could sacrifice Commander's Sphere to draw a card. So, those are the staples. And the deck also came, and this pre-constructed deck came with modern, updated versions of Sol Ring and Hedron Archive. So I'm not playing with the old copy of Hedron Archive in this particular deck, and the much needed Sol Ring, of course. Here we go. And Hedron, in which I can add 2 mana, and I can also sacrifice Hedron Archive to draw 2 cards. And of course, I picked I stayed with Jayemda's Tome, which was in the deck originally when it was Isamaru. So I pay 4, tap in, I draw a card, and I picked and I'm also keeping MSC Tome, in which I pay 5 mana, tap it, and then I draw 2 cards, choose and discard a card, which is good because I don't have to discard the card that I draw. I can discard a card that's in my hand. So I can always keep the 2 cards that I draw and drop a card. And these 2 cards, I added them into the Sith's deck in the first update, and that's Angel's Feather and Worm's Tooth. They both do the same thing, but different targets. Angel's Feather, whenever a player casts a white spell, you may gain 1 life. Worm's Tooth, whenever a player casts a green spell, you may gain 1 life. And I checked their rulings, and yes, it's any player. So any player that casts a spell, a white spell or a green spell, I'll gain life on their turn. So if you're playing a white deck or a green deck or both, I will be gaining life off of you. So that is the Sith's deck. And what I'm looking to do, I still haven't decided yet with the shrines, with Goshen Tai of Shared Purpose and Goshen Tai of Boundless Vigor, along with Holden of Life's Web, because I think those 4 cards are pretty good because they give me creatures and +1/+1 counters, especially when there are other shrines in play, and I think they're effective, yeah, and they're enchantments on top of that. That's the other thing too, is that they're enchantments. So and the Goshen Ties are enchantment creatures. Then there's Calyx, Guided by Fate. Let me pull up Scryfall. Let's see here. There we go. So let me pull up. There we go. Let me pull up Calyx. I think I spelled it right. Calyx. I probably missed. Oh, here it is. But then, oh no, not this one. This one, Guided by Fate. Then there's this one here. I don't know if I'll be able to. Oh, it's in my March of the Machines. Whenever Calyx, guided by faith or another enchantment, enters the battlefield under control, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Since I'm playing enchantments, that helps out. And then but then this is a major problem because I don't have enchantment auras to attach. I don't have the Rancor or the Vigilance in there. But it says here, whenever Calyx or an enchanted creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may create a token that's a copy of a non-legendary enchantment you control. Do this only once. So if I wanted to, I can make multiple copies of Hardened Scales. That's what's drawing me to this. It's an easy 3 mana drop. Weaver of Harmony is another one that I want to throw in. I'll just say Weaver of Blossom. Here we go. So Weaver of Harmony, which is in the Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. Other enchantment creatures you control get +1/+1, which is good. Now, if I pay mana and tap, copy target activated or triggered ability you control from an enchantment source. You may choose new targets for the copy. So, in other words, now I had to do a lot of reading on this. Activated and triggered abilities from enchantment sources include ability of enchantment cards that can be activated or triggered from other zones, such as channel abilities. But the thing is that I can have them copy Hardened Scales because it's a trigger. If I remember correctly, it's a trigger effect. So I can really pump up. Yeah, so it's a trigger effect. So I can really ramp up the +1/+1 tokens, among other things too. So this is actually a pretty good card, especially because it's only cost 2 mana to play. So yeah, that's why I wanted to get my hands on these types of cards. Nyx Fleece Ramp does the here we go, Ram. Oh, that's too many. Fleece. I wanted the Fleece Ramp because not only is it an enchantment creature, but it's cheap to drop, and it's got 5 toughness. And at the beginning of my upkeep, gain 1 life, but it'll gain +1/+1 counters along the way. So I want to get Nyx Fleece Ram and Weaver of Harmony at the very least. Those 2. This one is in Masters 25. I don't know if I'll be able to find that, but that's why I want. That's why I'm focused on those 2. I'm still up in the air with Calyx. Quite honestly, I don't know if that's something that I want. Let me pull up the Goshen Tide. Not Soshin Tai. Here we go. Here's Goshen Tai. They're enchantment creatures. These are the Goshen Tai cards. Here's Goshen Tai of Balanced Figure and Goshen Tai of Shared Purpose. Oh wow. Wow. I didn't see this one here. Goshen Tai of Life's Origin. It's in Neon Dynasty Commander. Oh, that stinks. I wish I had that. Wish I could find that pack. So that means I can use all 5 colors. Huh, interesting. I see. Anyway, back to my point here. Goshen Tai Balanced Figures. You can see I pay 1 at the beginning of my end step, and I get to put a +1/+1 counter on target shrine for each shrine I control. And Shared Purpose, I get to create a 1/1 colorless spirit creature for each shrine I control, which means that if I get Holden of Life's Web, alongside with my Holden of Fire, Cleansing Fire, and these 2, Goshen Tai Balanced Figure and Shared Purpose, that's 4 shrines if I get all 4 of them out there, and I'll be ramping up a lot of +1/+1 counters and 1/1 spirit creature tokens along the way. So yeah, that's why I want. So that's why I'm and they're enchantments and enchantment creatures. So it makes it very difficult to choose which one or how I can get all of them in there. So it's tough. It's a tough one. It's very tough. So that is the Sithis deck. That is my Sithis deck. So let's now I'm not gonna do much here because with Silvos I'm still trying to figure out what it is that I'm looking to do. because I know what I want to do. I just don't know why. If that makes sense at all. Silvo's Rogue Elemental, because as you'll see here, is it working? Yeah, I have 37 forests. I had to do a lot of upgrading, so to speak, and I'm trying to also find some beast creatures, but here we go. Yeah, 37 forests. I think it's obvious. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Put that right up here in the front. I'm always not tilting it correctly. All right. So yeah, basically with Silvos, it's primarily a beast deck, and I'm backing it up with snakes. Let's see here. So how many do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 beasts. So I got 12 beasts, but the thing is that they're the focus. And what I want is, I want to have fun with this deck. I'm not building tournament decks, just so y'all know. This is like a filthy casual type of deck. And the fun thing that I want to do with my beast deck is to bring out the Frozen Beast, which with Threshold turned into an 8/8 creature. The Colonian Behemoth, which is a 9/9. The Frozen Colossus, which is a 9/9. And finally, the Frozen Cloud Scraper, which is a 13/13. I want to bring one of these four out and just bash everybody to bits. So basically, I'm trying to find beast cards that are just a little cheaper. For the most part, like I don't want the rest of the beasts that I have to clock in at 6 or higher. So for the most part, I have these beasts that are at 3 and 4. Berserk Molodon is 5. Hystrodon is also 5. So, but I don't want to get rid of the Hystrodon because it's got trample. When I deal damage, I draw a card. So I'm looking at the utility of why I'm keeping Hystrodon. Merlodon, when it becomes black, gets +1/+1. I don't really think it's worth for the 5 mana it has. So I'm looking to drop it. So I have no problem dropping it. Ravenous Baloth, I feel is fine because I can always sacrifice it and gain 4 life if I need it. I'm definitely keeping Anurid Scavenger because at the beginning of my upkeep, sacrifice Anurid Scavenger unless I put a card from my graveyard to the bottom of the library. So that's actually a good thing. I like that. I'm willing to drop Leery Fog Beast. Well, no, Leery Fog Beast is 3 mana. These guys are fine. Leery Fog Beast is fine. It's 3 mana, 4/2. Whenever Leery Fog Beast becomes blocked, prevent all damage, combat damage that will be dealt this turn. So I guess it's trample prevention. Well, no, it prevents all damage actually. Yeah, it prevents all combat damage. So yeah, I'm not dropping that. This is a new one that I got. It's from the Jump Starts. This is called Sylvan Brush Strider. When Sylvan Brush Strider enters the battlefield, I gain 2 life. So that's complementary to this card that I'm also keeping. There we go. And I got Frozen Foron, which has Provoke. When this attacks, you may have target creature defending player controls untap and block if able. Frozen Corvine can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. It's a 4 mana. I don't know about this one. And then I got the Giant Warhog, which is very straightforward. 6 mana, 5/5 trample. I don't have a problem keeping it, but I would prefer for the beast to for outside of the 4 that I showed you. The Frozen Beast, the Frozen Cloud Scraper, the Behemoth. I just want to keep that to just those 4. I might be willing to do 5 if I could find another, heavy hitting beast. So I'll have to figure that one out. And as for the snakes, I went with these snake tribes. Let's see here. Here we go. That are based around Sachi, daughter of Seshiro, and Sosuke, son of Seshiro. So it says here, other snakes you control. Other snakes you control get +0/+1, and shamans you control have add green to your mana pool. So I have snake shamans, and for Sosuke, other snakes you control get +1/+0. So if I get both brother and sister out, that's a 1/1. Whenever a warrior you control deals combat damage to a creature, destroy that creature at end of combat. I guess that's Death Touch. So that means that in terms of snake shamans, I got Sakura Tribe Elder and Orochi Sustainer. Orochi Sustainer gives me lets me add 1 to the mana pool, and the Elders let me search. And in terms of the warriors side, I got Kashi Tribe Reaver and Matsu Tribe Decoy. Decoy and the Reaver both have the same effect, where whenever they deal damage to a creature, I tap that creature, and it doesn't untap during the next untap step. And they have additional effects. The Decoy, when I tap for 3 mana, target creature blocks Decoy this turn if able, and the Reaver has regeneration for 2 mana. So there's that. And then I just picked these random ones because they were pretty cool. Let's see here. Orochi Merge Keeper is a snake druid. It gives me 1 mana, and as long as the Merge Keeper is modified, which is you got they have equipment, aura, and counters attached. Then I can add 2 mana instead of 1. And then I picked these two because they give +1/+1 tokens. Coiling Stalker and Heir to the Ancient Fang. Yeah, Heir of the Ancient Fang. Heir of the Ancient Fang enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it if I control a modified creature. And Coiling Snake has Ninjutsu. And whenever it deals damage to a player, I get to put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature that doesn't have a counter on it. So it's a good way to boost up my beasts if I get damage done, and give them +1s. So I got some green flyers. Emerald Dragonfly, where I could tap 2 green for first strike. Locust Swarm, which I can tap green to either regenerate it, or I can untap the Locust Swarm after I tap it. And of course, Killer Bees, what I always call the green Shivan Dragon. I just tap for 1 green and it's +1/+1. So if I generate 10 +1/+10 forests, I can make it a 10/10 creature or 10/11 creature, whatever. Finhorn Elder, I get to add 2 green to the mana pool. Werebear, I get to add 1 green to the mana pool. If it gets threshold, it becomes a 4/4 creature. Line of War Elves, we know how that works. Just tap for green. Untamed Wilds, I get to search my deck again for a basic land card, and it just comes into play untapped. Far Wanderings, search your library for a basic land card and put that card into play tapped. Then shuffle your library. It's got Threshold, in which I could put 3 basic lands and put those 3 into play tapped. So this is like a powerful ramp if I can get the Threshold. Of course, Nature's Lore. Search my library for a forest card and put that card into play. Again, untapped. Rampant Growth, of course. Search my library for a basic card and put that into play tapped. Oh, sorry. I must have read a different card when I said Rampant Growth. I got that wrong. My mistake. Then I have Fade into Antiquity, which is from Kamigawa. Exile target artifact or enchantment, which is fine. Nature Spiral and Revive, they both let me retrieve permanents. Revive, though, specifies green card, which is fine because it's mono green. And Nature Spiral is any permanent from the graveyard to my hand. They both go to the hand. Overgrowth, I enchant a land and I get to produce an additional 2 mana when I tap. Fertile Ground, whenever enchanted land is tapped for mana, I get to add mana of any color. That's okay. Tap for green. Wild Growth, tap land and I get an additional green. Let's see here. Overwhelming Instinct. Whenever I attack with 3 or more creatures, I get to draw a card. And given the nature of this deck, I expect to have 3 creatures attacking at once. Primal Rage. All creatures gain trample, naturally. Frog Tongue. Enchant a creature. When it comes into play, I get to draw a card. And enchant a creature gets to block creatures with flying. Reach. Rancor. My favorite card. Enchanted Green gains +2/+0 on trample, and when Rancor is sent to the graveyard, it goes right back to my hand immediately. Season of Renewal. Choose one or both. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand, or return target enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand, or do both. So I can send a creature card or enchantment card from the graveyard back to my hand. So I can fetch out more retrievals. I'm not sure if I should really consider playing this in my other deck, Sithis. Well, if I get another season of renewal, I'll probably play that rather than Nature's Spiral, because that's what it says, right? Yeah, creature and an enchantment. Yeah, so yeah, I could always replace that with Nature's Spiral. Maybe I could replace Nature's Spiral. I don't know. Naturalize. Destroy target artifact or creature. Wear away. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Sorry, I'm saying target artifact or creature. Target artifact or enchantment with Naturalize. Target artifact or enchantment with Wear away. Splice onto Arcane is a little complicated. Too complicated for me. Moment's Peace. Prevent all combat damage that will be dealt this turn, and it has flashback, so I can cast it from the graveyard for 3 mana and do it again. Respite. Creatures deal no combat damage this turn. I gain 1 life for each attacking creature. Fog. Creatures deal no combat damage. Massive Might. For 1 mana, target creature gets +2/+2 and gains trample until end of turn. It's an instant for 1 mana. Kodama's Might. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. It's got this another splice onto arcane thing. Giant Growth. Staple. Target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. And then we come to the artifacts. Giant Dayton, where I draw a card. Grand Dynamo, where I get to add 3 colorless mana. Crawl Space is a new card that I got over the weekend. No more than 2 creatures can attack you each combat. So I put this into play, and my opponents can only attack with 2 creatures. They can only attack me with 2 creatures, which by then I'll probably have a whole army of beasts that'll block for me. Not only have to block with 2 and not have to worry. Worn Power Stone comes into play. Tap. I get to add 2 colors mana to the mana pool. Nodachi is an equipment, which gives me +2/+0 and first strike. Only costs 3 to equip. Gorgon Flail, enchanted creature gets +1/+1. I don't know why I said enchanted. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has Death Touch. It only costs 2 to equip. Emerald Medallion, I get to reduce my green spells by 1 generic mana. Mind Stone, add 1 colorless mana to the mana pool. Sacrifice to draw a card. Sensei's Divining Top, I get to look at the top 3 cards and then put them back in of my library, put them back in any order. Draw a card, then put Divining Top on its owner's library. Bone Splitter, enchanted creature gets +2/+0, which is 1 to equip. Shuko, equipped creature gets +1/+0. And it's free to equip. And of course, Sol Ring, the staple. So I noticed that I'm throwing them up there, and you're not even seeing anything. I am so dumb. There we go. I'm like looking at the screen. I'm talking. My brain isn't processing. Anyway, so the big question is, what do I want to do with this? And the question is, what kind of synergy can I execute? Because I can't really figure out. I'm like looking for cards. Basically, I'm looking for cards that do synergy, and those of you watching are more than welcome, to give me any suggestions of what cards out there that are cost efficient, please, that I can use to make my beasts come out faster. Anything that can reduce the cost, any lands for that matter. because one of the lands that I want to definitely get in there is the Urza cards. They're called Urzatron, named after Voltron. I had to like research on that because people are like, "Oh, you got a Voltron? Voltron this, Voltron that." I'm like, "What does Voltron? Is Voltron a crossover card I hadn't heard of?" No, it's not a crossover. Surprisingly enough, which would have been awesome because of the Space Witch that makes monsters grow. She makes those row beasts. But right now, I only have is Urza's power plant and Urza's mine. If I can get Urza's tower, then I want to throw that in there. Most definitely throw it in there because that will help. It will help me pay for those high costing colorless mana that my beasts require, especially the Crozens. Then I got these I don't know, these not very good green cards like Timberland Ruins, Slippery Karst. Let me go push that a little more closer here. I keep forgetting not to put them closer. Centaur Garden, Jungle Basin, Havenwood Battleground. I don't know if these are really good for the monocolor. So for the mono green. If you know of any non-basic lands, please, comment down below. I'm gonna be repeating this over and over again because, like I said, trying to fit these guys in is extremely difficult. It's pretty obvious. I mean, I could just do this right now with the Urza's Mine, with the Urza cards, and just find the tower. There we go. See, yeah, there. Just like that. So, how far am I in? I'm doing fine. So, let's see. So at the very least, I threw that in there. I'm sure Jungle Basin might be a good idea too. It gives me 1 green and 1 colorless mana. I just have to return an untapped forest I control. I'm not sure if that's worth it yet. I don't know if that's really worth it yet. So, at least I got that to start for now. Let me put those to the side here. So, let's see. Was there something to, let me see here. Yeah, because I pretty much can't, because I've gone through my whole entire list and I can't, think of anything more. Like, out of a joke, I wanted to actually throw from among the artifact creatures, just out of the fun of it, Eater of Days. This card here is called Eater of Days. Here we go. Flying Trample. When Eater of Days comes into play, you skip your next 2 turns. But it's a 9/8 creature for 4 mana. That's why it's got that major drawback. Pretty hilarious. I even got this one, this artifact creature. It's a new one that I want to throw in. So yeah, I want to play big creatures, but not too many big creatures, because I need to be able to not get stuck with a whole bunch of unplayable high costing creatures. That's why I need a lot of emphasis on the ramp. What's the Prismatic Piper doing here? Yeah, I have the Prismatic Piper. I got that from I think I got that from the card draw. Here, let me get you out. Guardian of Koilos. No, these new cards are pretty awesome. That I was getting these sets here. Let's see here. Whip Spinner Cove. Where are you at? Circuit Mender. No. Runaway Trash Bot. No, it's not this one. Let's see. No, it's in here. I have it. Rada Rumen, Demon's Horn, Marauder's X. Oh, no. The Bone Split is way cheaper. Yeah, Bone Split is way cheaper. This thing doesn't even offer anything. That's weird. Don't know why they created that. Come on, I know I have you here. it's a it's a construct. It's a big one. Bramble armor. Oh, when Bramble armor enters the battlefield, attach it to a creature you control. Let's see. Dark Steel Ingot. No, that's gonna be for my Sliver deck. Sunset Pyramid. I don't know. Oh, Moss Diamond. I should definitely have Moss Diamond in here. I should definitely put the Moss Diamond for the ramp. Let's see here. In fact, I have the classic one. Honored Heirloom. Nope, that's for something else. Nope, 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 not you. Thopter. Nope, 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 nope. Prismite. Nope. Come on, come on. Chamber Sentry. No. I got those cards from Jumpstart Rainbow Pack, and I ended up with a whole bunch of crazy cards, and I think this was this one was part of that. Hero's Blade, Bride's Gown, Fire Diamond, Howling Golem, another Howling Golem attacks or blocks. Each player draws a card. No, I don't want to give my opponent anything. I have Eaters of Days. Zorian Signet. Oh yeah, see, this is the one that I was talking about here. This is a vehicle, Surge Hacker Mech. So this is a vehicle that that I was talking about, the new type here. So it has menace, and it has what it says, Crew 4. I forgot how that works. I completely forgot how that works. But you attach it, and it gets used for that one turn. I'll have to look that up again, how crew works. But it was pretty awesome, an awesome concept, and it seems to be popular now. Come on, I know I have you in here. Oh, and here's another vehicle. See, this is what I was talking about in terms of. Oh, here it is. Tap any number of creatures you control with total power 1 or more. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. So you can actually turn them into artifact creatures. And this is what I was talking about. It looks like a Gundam. Yeah, let me bring it down a little bit more. There we go. So yeah, it's like a fantasy Gundam, giant mechs, man, in the Kamigawa set. I love it. So yeah, it's power. So whatever your creature's power is. So in this case here, Surge Hacker Mech. If you have a 4 power creature with power 4, then you could turn the mech into an artifact creature, and it'll attack for 5/5. Wow, 5/5. Huh. And this one is a 3/2 flyer. Okay, I'll have to take that into consideration. Sentinel Futurist. Here's another one. Wow. Here we are. The Walking Skyscraper. This is the one. This is the one that I wanted to throw in because that's funny. That's funny. It's an 8/8 giant building. Attack y'all with the Empire State Building. So yeah, that's one of the cards that I want to get in there. That I want to fit in there. I might consider throwing in the mechs also, the vehicles, into this deck, since they're generic mana for the most part. But yeah, this is that's why I'm having a hard time, because my brain can't think of what I want to put in it. You know, so I have no idea what synergies to do or anything. So most definitely comment down below if you have any ideas. But like I said, all I just want to do with this deck, is have the Behemoth, the Sylvos, the Cloud Scraper, the Colossus, just these. I just want these guys. Where's the other one? And the Crows and Beast, and maybe even adding in this you know, saying the skyscraper, and Eater of Days. You know what I'm saying? Just these guys here. You know what I'm saying? I just want to get these guys out and just whack my opponents for crap sack ton of damage. So if you know any synergies, while I try and bring them down, as well as any non-basic lands that can work with mono green, that can help me speed it up. I definitely could put Terramorphic Expanse in there to help speed it up, but yeah, it's I have no idea how to synergize any of this, or if I should get rid of the snakes. I mean, I don't have a problem getting rid of the snakes and putting in all beasts. Maybe I should consider doing that. If I'm gonna go, yeah. Well, if you have any idea of beasts, I mean, there's a whole bunch of them, or any cards that can work with beasts. You know, I'm willing to drop the snakes for them, and then throw in some of these constructs and vehicles, because that'll be funny seeing the Crows and Cloud Scraper pilot a giant mech. the very thought that this where's he at? This guy here. This giant thing. Where'd I put those cards at? Where'd I put them at? No, don't tell me I put them away. No. Don't tell me I put them away. Oh my gosh. I really did put them away? Dang it. Oh man. I want this is funny. Come on. I'm making a funny here. You mean I gotta search all this again? No. But you're probably sitting there saying, "Yeah, we know what you're saying." Here we go. Battle suit. Here we go. The Crows and Cloud Scraper piloting this battle suit. That's funny. That's funny. Dumb, because why would I tap a 13/13 creature? You know, but but that's my point. My point is that I want this to be a fun, weird, wacky beast deck. You know what I'm saying? But a good solid one that can deliver on the chaos that it's supposed to bring. I can't believe I put that away. Oh no. Yeah, no, I did put that mech away. Should have kept the mech out. Oh well. So yeah, I'm welcome to any ideas and advice with beast decks, any cards. Please keep them cheap. I can't afford, you know, I can't be spending $100 for one single card. I'd rather spend $100 for 100 cards, $1 each. Yeah. So now I remember. There's a card that I want to insert in here. Here we go. I was gonna put it in my Sithis deck, but I opted not to do that because it's actually way better here. Where are you at? I have you in here. Oh no, where'd you go? I must have passed you up. I forgot the name of it. Oh yeah. Here we go. Evolutionary Leap. Here we go. Evolutionary Leap. So what Evolutionary Leap does is sacrifice. I sacrifice a creature. Reveal cards from the top of my library until I reveal a creature card. Put that card into my hand, and the rest in the bottom of my library in any order. It's an enchantment. So, I mean, this would most definitely work for my Sithis deck, since sacrificing creatures is vitally important because they trigger effects. But I felt like maybe that's this is more suited for Silvos. I don't know yet, but I'm willing to put it into Sithis. It's like there's no wrong way if I go with Sithis. I just don't know how to fit this into Sithis. That's the key problem with this. Did I just put this on top of? Yes, I did. Jeez. Put that to the side. All right. So yeah. I mean, I can always get another Evolutionary Leap if I need to, but the point is, The point is, I could put Roaring Earth in there. Can I? Yeah, probably. I probably could fit Roaring Earth. I don't know. But anyway, the point is that I'm kind of lost with this beast deck because I know what I want. I just want to bash opponents with these heavy hitters alongside with these artifact creatures. With these two artifact creatures, the Eater of Days and the Skyscraper, and so you know yeah. Because I'm very, because I've gone through, trust me, I've gone through um, all these cards multiple times, even with the new ones, and they just don't, and I just think that I've ran out. I ran out of something. I mean, I still got beasts, all things considered. So yeah, it's very directionless right now. So yeah, I'm very much welcome to any advice y'all have. So I'm repeating myself over and over again. I don't know. My brain is just running at 100 miles per hour. It's running at 100 miles per hour. I mean, the best thing that I could do is play it, play the deck, and then figure out where to go from there. But I don't want to do that and get wiped out completely. Here's my. Let me figure out. So, yeah, I just don't have. I just don't know what more to go with my pull here, with my card pull. So, mm, I mean, I could just keep adding more beasts. I don't know. I don't know. So, thank you all. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for joining me. That's let me see here. So let me see. Can I be able to fit all of them? Let me see if I can fit them all on the screen here. Let me line this up for you. So here are the beasts. Let me keep Silvos over here. All right. So let's see. Let me do this right in front of you. Here we are. Instead of facing away from you. All right, here we go. Go down as might. Here we go. Let me get all this together here. I don't know if I can fit them all on the screen. We're about to find out. Gotta love the sound of that little flick there. All right. All right, so here we go. Let me get these beasts here. All right. There we are. All right. Yeah, so we can get a good idea of what I'm dealing with. I have no idea what I just did just now. Okay, so instant. Let's line up the instants here. Let's see here. All right. Giant growth. Night. Moment's peace. I don't even know why I'm lining it up. Y'all seen the list right now. No, you need to see what the cards look like at the very least. Here are my instants. Here's my enchantments. Frog Tongue. Overwhelming Instinct. Fertile Ground, Wild Growth, Overgrowth. Here we go. Alright. Let's see here. Let's see here. Put the beasts over there. Fade into Antiquity. Nature's Lore, Untamed Wilds. There you go. Got the Werebear. Finhorn Elder. I don't know. Maybe I'll drop the snakes. In fact, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should just drop the snakes and put in nothing but beasts. You know what I'm saying? Like, just go. I guess I should just lean in full tribal. Here's my more beasts. Here we go. Oop, nudged a bit there. Yeah, here's the Histrodon. Let's see. Scavenger, Giant Warhog, Baloth, Sylvan Brush Strider, the Merlindont, the Crozen Vorine. There we go. And here are the snakes. Here are the snake people. Let's see. I'm playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 snakes. I'm playing 10 snakes and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 beasts. Sorry. Leery Fog Beast goes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 beasts and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 snakes. I got 9 snakes. Maybe I should just drop all the snakes, right? If I really want to go all out. Then let me look for. Let me look up my beasts here. Okay, let's see what I got here for the beasts. Let's see what else I got here. I don't think I have much left, do I? Let's see. Leyline, Histrodon, Crozen Vorine, Colonian Behemoth, Heir of the Ancient Fang, Kashi Tribe Warrior, Snake Warrior. Affectionate Indrik. When Indrik enters the battlefield, you may have a fight target creature you don't control. I don't know if I'm gonna lean in. I guess if I'm gonna lean in, Enormous Baloth. Don't I have that already in there? I don't know. I think I'm gonna drop all the snakes. I think I'm gonna drop all the snakes and just put in every beast I got in here. Barkhide Mauler, Hundrug. Let me find all of this. Glowering Rogon, Bognar, Needleshot Gurna, Snarling Underrock, Cracklin, Carnicid, Brontotherium, Crozen Colossus. Already got that in there. Merlodont. Alright. Yeah, go. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna drop the snakes. Snakes? Don't know any snakes. Oh, what is Jackalope Herd? Jackalope. Let's see here, Jackalope Herd. Oh, they're a rabbit beast. Huh. Interesting. Rabbit beast. Okay. More giant warhog. Alright, and then here are all the snakes that I rounded up. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm being silly. Ignoring, putting in the snakes. So let's see here. Make this a full tribal, right? Let's go full tribal here. And then go from there and figure out what I want to do to synergize and get them going. So this will be a little easier if I do this here. There we go. Let me move these over here. All right. All right. So Larry Fog Beast, Anerid, Scavenger. Let's see if I can line them up here, just like that. Larry Fog Beast, Giant Warhog. Let's move you guys over to the side. You two Silvos. The snakes will stay over here because I'm gonna switch them out. I'm gonna be switching them out. Let's see here. All right. So we're keeping that. Ravenous Baloth. Sylvan Brush Rider, Brush Strider, the Merlodont, the Vorine, Histrodon, Cloud Scraper, Colossus, Behemoth, and the Crozen Beast, the Giant Squirrel Beast. So let's see here. All right, Ravenous Baloth. Do I have those? How many of these do I have here? Nope, that's the only one. The only Ravenous Baloth. All right, and that's what it's called, right? Ravenous Baloth. Oh, interesting. I got it mixed up. I got them mixed up. The enormous Baloth confused with the Ravenous Baloth. All right. There we go. So, Giant Warhog, which I already have. Let's see. I already have the Giant Warthog. Hold on. Let me just straighten this out for all of you. Like, all one big Dutch angle. What is this? What's up all this Dutch angles here? We're not watching Battlefield Earth. Alright, so Giant Warhog, I got that. I definitely don't have Jackalope Herb, so let me put that here. I got the Crozen Beast. I don't have Carnicid. Crozen Colossus. And the Merlodont. Do I have Glowing Rogon? No, I don't have the Rogon. I'll put that there. Okay. Another Berserk Merlodont. Glowering. Got the Histrodons. Another Glowering Rognon. Bognar. I'll put Bognar there. Needle Shot Gurna. There we go. Snarling Undarock. Cracklin. Got that. Brontotherium. Hundrogue. The Barkhide Mauler. The Enormous Baloth. Scragnog and Affectionate Indric. There we go. There's all the beasts. There's all the beasts. So there we are. All right. So how many cards do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Gotta fit 9 in here. So let's see here. Just go full on beast tribal. I don't know why I'm holding back. I don't know why I'm holding back. I shouldn't be holding back. I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, I wanted to play with the snakes, but you know what? You know what? I'm over. I'm cheating myself out of this. All right. So Hundroog, 4/7 creature with cycling. Needle Shot Gurna. Make Blogistos has flying. It's a 3/6. Barkhide Mauler has cycling. I think maybe I should put the cyclers in there because I could draw cards. Brontotherium, Trample and Provoke. I should definitely put that in there. Bognar, whenever a player plays black, Gargnar gets +2/+2. That's too situational, so I might not play that. Enormous Baloth, just a straight 7/7. Don't know why I don't have that in there. Crackling comes into play with X +1/+1 counters. Regenerate Crackling. So if I generate plenty of mana, that X mana up here will give it that many +1/+1. Glowering Rogon. As this card comes into play, put a +1/+1 counter on it for each beast card reveal. So I should definitely have that in my hand. Carnicid, straightforward Trampler. It can regenerate. It's 5/4. Put that up there. You're not going to see that, huh? All right, let me put that in the middle there. Scragnoth, production from blue cannot be countered when being cast. Affectionate Indric enters the battlefield. Can have it fight a target creature that I don't control. I tried that out. That was pretty cool. Snarling Undarock. Target beast gets +1/+1 until end of turn, and it can morph. I don't know. I don't think it's really worth the trouble. And Jackalope Herds. If you play any spell, return Jackalope Herd to owner's hand. I think it's pretty obvious that these guys here are not going to go into this deck. Carnicid might be too... well, it's a 5/4 Trampler, so it's not bad. I don't know about Scragnoth. It's a 3/4... for 5, I don't know if that's gonna be worth the trouble. I'm definitely putting in the Indric. That's pretty fun. I think I'm gonna stick with the cyclers, just so I could be able to draw. Let's see here. I don't think Gurna is worth the cost. It's a 3/6 that could block as though it has flying. That might be helpful, even though I have flyers. Let me put that here for consideration. So, let me see what else I got here. I'm definitely throwing in the enormous Bailoff. That's going in. Bognar, too situational. I need somebody who's playing black to do that. Bronthurian, yeah. Trample with Provoke. Glaring Rogon with the Amplify, I would say yes. I guess I could play Crackling. It's not a big deal. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How you like that? I got 9. I got 9 available. Let's see here. Okay. Look at that. I got 9. So here we go. Crozen Restore. So let's put these guys out again. For all of you to see. Let's see. All right. So yeah, I may as well just lean into it and just throw in nothing but beasts. I don't know what I was thinking. So it's just a matter of finding the cards that I need to be able to. Here we go. You know what? Line it up like that. So I just need to be able to find cards to help get them out. Like really ramp up. Like really ramp up. At such a high rate that I can drop them without hesitation. So how many is this here now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you guys can sit up here. And let's get you guys into here. Okay. So yeah, goodbye snakes. You know what I'm saying? You have so many. Like I said, this deck. You know, requires a lot of needs a direction. So, and I want to play Beast and really just go all out on the Beast and go to town with beating up people with the Beasts. And I'm willing to throw in these constructs, the Skyscraper, the Walking Skyscraper, and Eater of Days, just to go there. Be like, throwing in some more biggies. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a giant. This is like a giant deck here, total giant deck. Throwing the mechs, throwing those vehicle mechs, and watch the beasts fly them in, just for the fun of it. I wouldn't do that actually, unless there's like a like if the Skyscraper was a vehicle at 8/8, and I could have. Oh well, it doesn't matter. You know, it was those vehicles were really designed for smaller creatures. So there we go. There are my creatures. For green. There's all my beast creatures. I'm sure they're better beasts, so like I said, just let me know in the comments below. And I'll find a way to fit Walking Skyscraper and Eater of Days, just so I can have that extra kick to it. Because I don't know how to bring that down. All right. So it's a bit of a mess here. Where is this it? Yeah, here it is. Is this it? Where did I put you at? Oh, I put you over here. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me. So now you see what's going on with my Silvos deck. All right. So it's gonna be fun in the end. It's gonna be a fun giant. Alright, so I think I'm gonna have to put Evolutionary Leap into that deck. I think that's a much better spot. So nevertheless, thank you all for joining me, and I wish you all a good night, buenas noches, and oyasumi nasai.